All right, everyone, welcome back to Lesson Learned, a conversation about Mythcraft. I am Corey Griffin, our normal host that runs this. With me today, I've got.
Hey, it is Kobe Randolph.
Um, and today, we went back and forth on what we were going to, uh, like, what we thought we were gonna do when it comes to looking at the different class tracks and all the different builds and everything else. Um, so what we decided to do was we decided to just go ahead and build a character. And the first one that we came up, mostly for alliteration's sake, was the brewing. How was it that I put it? The brewing Brunei Exile Berzerker.
A
Doesn't
lot
work
of
quite
B's in
as well
there.
as the other one I was thinking of.
Say that 5 times fast. See how that works.
Um, but yeah, so let's think just like a little bit about like the character that we're looking to build, what kind of role really fits the um, exile track, and in my opinion, one of the best roles for it has to be like the um, like that front line kind of support slash being a meat shield.
Yeah,
Maybe you're not the biggest damage dealer, but you're doing something on the front line. You're up there. You're standing close. Maybe you have a get out of jail free card or two in your repertoire for when stuff starts getting really shady, which we did build into this character. But and what better way to have that person not care about the damage that they're doing than being drunk?
Drunk Brunei is just already a recipe for chaos, but they're already loose moral code. Most of them have, to say the least. So,
Yeah. Um. So like I said, we are going Brunei, and we covered all of the Brunei and everything before. Um. And we decided to go ahead and roll for HP instead of doing standard, just because sometimes that can be a lot more fun. Um, so the numbers will not be exact from what we say. Should you decide to play this character, if you roll it, or if you decide to take the average. Um, that being said, at
do we
level
want to
one,
start? Yeah, I was gonna say, how do we want to start out with level one? Do we want to do
yeah, right. Like
stats or the Brunei features first? How did like?
I think for some reason you're cutting in and out hard for me. Um, but I think we're gonna start at stats and work our way through. Starting at level one, as we've talked about before, we have 5 attribute points that we can place as we want. So what we decided to go with this particular character is to go with to start with 2 endurance, 2 charisma, 1 coordination, and then zeros in everything else. So we have a 0 to strength, a 0 to dex, a 0 to awareness, and a 0 to intellect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely a setting yourself up for success level. It's funny because 2 of those are right before their next tier of a level up,
Yeah,
which is but
yeah.
yeah,
We definitely like we knew we were playing in this um, to play
mm-hmm.
and maybe not necessarily be 100% the best it can be right now.
Yeah,
However, um, it works for our kind of thought on the character.
Mm-hmm. And it's always nice to not have to take negatives in the start of it for sure, because it is a lot of the other defenses do get targeted often, so they keep those up. But we also have with the Brunei features, obviously the starting features, we all keep the phase step, which is you get a phase step once per rest to become unseen for 1 minute, and stone sleep. Brunei do not sleep like other creatures, instead they enter a state of stone sleep. You may sleep for 6 hours to regenerate, and while you're stone sleep, your DT is 30.
Yeah.
For our unique feature we take at a level 1,
Stone
we
gut.
went stone gut. I mean, gain resist toxic 3. We drankin'. You gotta have it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just so much fun to have that resist toxic, and the explanation, as we'll get to later, we drink a lot. So of course we're not going to take as much toxic damage.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What we decided to do for profession and rank is we went entrepreneur, trader. So we will be kind of wheeling and dealing outside of combat. We're gonna be trying to like talk a lot of. We're gonna be selling our goods. We're gonna be buying things. We're gonna be selling things. A lot of cash flow in and out. And we're drunk, so if we happen to be making some bad deals that day, it's all good.
It does happen, Can't get high on your own supply, and we do. So there is. But we also take for our specialization talent at level 1. We are going with brewer.
Mhm.
Let me actually pull up the actual reading of that one real quick.
Mhm.
It is. Oh, I thought
Forgot to have it open, or else I'd have started reading it for you.
I went too far down. Sorry, I apologize. It is. Oh god, there's so many of these skill ones. Where is it? Brewer. Gain +3 in the brewing skill. Your drinks are particularly delicious when you take a rest. You can create 1 serving of a beverage of your choice. A creature that consumes it gains 1d6 shield HP.
I mean, we said we wanted to be there to be kind of the meat shield. So
Mm-hmm.
being able to just drink it and increase our um, defenses, or give us some shield HP, take a little bit more damage,
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine, right?
I love a lot of the skill talents in the specialization track. It's a lot of little fun, little abilities like this you can find in there that just really can bring a little great flavor to the build that also has some good utility as well.
Guys, give us just a minute. I am having some issues. I'm going to put us on BRB, and we'll be back in just a moment. All right, we are back. Hopefully that fixes my issue. However, it does seem like your camera might be frozen, Kobe.
Oh my God, is gonna be one of those cabin nights for us.
It does seem that way.
Oh my God, why are you doing this to me? Oh, now it's just not there. Cool. I I don't even understand right now.
Please hold. Okay, we are back once more. We want to double
Hello,
test this?
hello,
Okay.
hello. Am I working?
It seems
Working
like
for
you are. Awesome. Awesome. So I think we had started level 2
yeah.
before.
Okay. So yeah, with level 2, we start off with our stat increase. We put our +1 into coordination, bringing us up to 4 base AP around.
And our HP is going to increase to 17. And the talent that we're going to take is we're actually going to go into the class talents now that we're level 2. Because all class talents have the level 2 prerequisite. And we're going to grab the Berzerker entry talent. When we take this talent, we gain the following benefits. We get Blood Rage, which gives us one special rage action point that can only be used to make attacks during our turn or to make reactive attacks if we have the ability to do so. We regain this action point at the start of each of our turns, but we cannot carry it over like normal action points. You can only have one source of special AP. If you gain a second source of special AP, you choose whether you keep this source or if you take your new source. The other thing that we get is the ferocious ability. What that means is that twice per rest, we there's a typo there. We are able to uh, remove the frightened condition from us for 1 minute. It's bad that I.
Oh,
Yeah. You see what's going on with the wiki.
that's hilarious. um, after that, we go to our level 3, which our stat increase is we put a 1 into strength, bringing us to 1 strength, 2 coordination, 2 endurance, 2 charisma. It's zeros and everything else. Our HP goes up to 22 this round, and we take the ability of the exile track marked. You are marked a tattoo or brand in some way. The sign of your exile has not broken your will. Gain one of the following benefits, and we're gonna go with the lone wolf, which is when making awareness or intellect checks that would implement skills with a survival tag, you may use your charisma instead.
Really
Uh,
strong. A
really,
lot of the a lot of the good skills are survival skills, and since we didn't take anything in awareness or intellect, using our charisma instead is just very strong. So, at this point, like you're you're a better version of just a regular Brunei, kind of brewing and selling your alcohol. You've seen some scraps for sure. Uh, you know, as the market can be like a really competitive place. You had to get a bit tough at times. Mechanically, you're more focused on your skills. Brewing, intuiting, appraisal are really good skills that you could have picked up, and Savoy Fair is a good charisma skill that you could use as well. Um, uh, you survive on just kind of like this natural charm that you just have, right? Um, Combat wise, any light strength based weapon will kind of be what you want to do. I kind of feel like brass knuckles um, are the best fit, and I mean they're easily concealed. You won't do a ton of damage per hit. Like at this point, you're like 1d4 plus one. Um, but with 5 AP between your regular AP and your
Rage.
your rage AP, you can make at least 2 attacks and still hold one over, or move or do all that fun kind of stuff. Um, as a Brunei, we have our get out of combat card with that face step just to blink us away for a minute. If things get a little bit too dicey. With the brewer talent, like I said earlier, we have those brews that just once a day give us 1d6 shield HP. It's hard to beat that, right? I mean, maybe even like don't be afraid if you decide to play this character to like take a sip before you even go into combat.
Yeah, especially with that brewer talent, gives you that 1d6 HP. So
Yeah. Um
after
so
that, we're gonna. Oh,
I meant to talk about this at the beginning of the episode. We will be taking breaks to kind of explain what we see this character doing and kind of um, maybe make a couple jokes just to keep the video entertaining. Um, at certain levels. So, in my opinion, and Kobe will probably attest to this a lot of characters feel their biggest power increases at 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30.
Yeah.
Like there's incremental increases all the time, but when you get those lineage abilities, because you're getting more on those levels,
It feels
and because at 3 you get access to a sub track if you straight class track. So that's when we decided to put those in. Mathematically, we're slightly ahead of the bell curve, HP wise, just slightly. I am taking into account the brewer 1d6 into our HP calculation. And we're a little bit behind on the damage curve. I think that's going to be a common thing throughout this character's life, being behind on the damage curve a little bit. But it's not super far behind, but it's not like peak damage either.
And then with that, we hit level 4. We put our level 4. We hit a +3 in endurance, hitting us to that new 1d6 now for endurance. For HP, bringing us to 30 HP. And we're gonna take the drunken fighter feat for our talent, or drunken fighter talent. I apologize.
So with drunken fighter, what that gives us is if you've imbibed in the past hour, you gain +2 damage to your weapon damage rolls, but you suffer 1 tactical disadvantage, which hurts us a little bit. But the increases in damage is nice.
Yeah.
We're still our to hit rate is like averaging at this level like 45% chance, so you're probably gonna miss more than you hit. Um, but like 45% over all everything that we should be facing at this level.
Mm-hmm.
But those extra 2 damage, I talked about our damage curve earlier. It kind of brings us up a little bit. Just a nice little thing that helps us bring up.
Yeah, a little bit closer to it.
Mm-hmm. And then at level 5, we're going to increase our charisma up to 3. I rolled really well on this one, and we're now up to 37 HP. And for our lineage ability, we're going to grab Face Step 2. And with Face Step 2, now we get Face Step is now twice per rest. And we immediately teleport to an unoccupied space that we can see within 15 feet. Even more of a let's get out of here kind of card.
Yeah, card, yeah.
And then the talent that we went with was Brawling.
I don't actually, looking at this one, I'm looking at the track, I'm just trying to find the read on it because it's one of the multiple ones you can go to. I apologize.
Mm-hmm. So what Brawling does, it increases our unarmored damage size by 1. Before it was a D4, now we're up to a D6 to a maximum of a D12. If you do not have an unarmed damage die, it becomes 1D4.
Yeah, so the brass knuckles now are throwing 1d6s.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Like, guys, I said take a swig before combat, not down a tankard, but I guess that's probably what we're all going to be doing. We've started to get a bit more aggressive here, and we do hit quite a bit harder now, right? We increase our damage die, we gain that +2 in Drunken Fighter. Like, it is strong. But again, we're a little bit sloppier. Our HP got a massive jump since our last check-in. And, you know, if that starts whittling you down maybe a little too much, you can Face Step away.
Yup.
So at level 6, we're actually going to increase our endurance up to 4. And what that's not gonna do a whole lot for us right now. What it will do for us is it will give us a closer to the threshold, give us a higher fortitude. So we're actually gonna be really hard with resist toxic to poison. I think we're gonna be really strong against certain things, which is nice. No one wants to be poisoned.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since that normally comes with a thickened track. The talent we're taking, I'm struggling to find. Did you happen to find it?
No, I'm trying to see where it could have been. Something when the group all works on stuff like this sometimes.
Okay, it's I know it's not in the Berzerker talent. So, Brawler, when 2 or more hostile creatures are within 5 feet of you, and you have no allies adjacent to you, increase all of your defenses by +2. Or +1, Sorry.
There it is.
I mean, you're trying to be that kind of meaty, connection, right?
Mm-hmm. And then next, we hit level 7. We're gonna put charisma up to 4. And then our HP is going to jump up to 49. Part of that jump is because of the talent we're taking. We are going with the Hardy specialization talent.
Yeah. And with the Hardy specialization talent, we gain additional HP equal to our level. You can recalculate your HP immediately when taking this talent, which I think we did, just kind of looking at it.
Yeah.
If you so desire, the formula becomes 10 plus your level, so 10 plus 7. D6 for us. 10 plus 7 D6 plus your level times 2. So 10 plus 14 plus 7d6.
Pretty dang good.
Yep.
After that, we are staying in the specialization talents and going back down to our skill talents and moving up to brewing expert. Gain another +3 in the brewing skill, and now you're able to produce 3 of those 1d6 shield HP brews.
Okay. Which is just strong, right?
That's really good, yeah.
The next thing that we're staying in the specialization talents. And what we're going to go with is just a little bit of soul. You gain +6 skill points that you can spend on any skill with the intellect tag. Additionally, when making a check with a skill that has the crafting or knowledge tag, and that skill is a skill that you have points for, you may use your charisma instead of your intellect for your skill checks. So, which is just super strong. And for brewing for us now, we're going to be making some good brews.
Yeah, it makes it so your intelligence check that have the crafting, knowledge, or survival tag all are now based off your charisma with this build.
Mm-hmm. We wanted to be good with our charisma.
Yeah, we are good at what we do. And if we're not good, we're going to talk our way to the fact we are good about it. Continuing on. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No.
Did we do the stats on that one? I forget.
I don't think we did. So we did increase our strength to 2 at this point. And now we have, 5 AP plus our rage AP. We're swinging with brass knuckles, so that's 2 AP a box. So we're hitting 3 times. We now get the +2 to hit, which at this level, we definitely needed it because we were falling further and further down that bell curve. But I didn't want to talk about the bell curve just yet.
Yeah, and then after that, we're going to level 10. This is another, I think, another fun one. We first are going to take Stone Gut. Oh, actually, we'll start with stats. We do our endurance up to 5. We were at 69 HP. Nice. And we are taking the Stone Gut feature. Stone Gut 2, I should say, which is gain resist toxic 3, immune to common disease, common poison. Furthermore, you can receive nourishment from eating any biological plant or compost mineral such as clay, dirt, or stone. I mean, the first bit is definitely just like, I drink so much that I can't get sick, which is hilarious. And I just think it's really funny. The other bit is a really fun reference to the fact that when you drink too much, you're going to eat some dirt. And now you get nourishment from it.
Yeah. The talent that we're going to be taking now is going to be Drunken Stagger. And what that's going to do for us is, while the effects of Drunken Fighter are active, the first time that you move on each of your turns, you no longer trigger reactive actions. That's not just reactive attacks. There's a... Oh, I can't talk about that yet. There are plenty of monsters in Mythcraft that have reactive actions. Some of them allow you to make attacks. Some of them move.
Yep.
But you no longer trigger reactive actions, not just reactive attacks. That's actually a lot stronger than I thought it was the first time I read through it.
Yeah, I would have loved that in a certain something.
Yeah. Um,
um,
so at this point, right, you are a drinking fighting machine, kind of. Mostly um, because that's most of what you do now. Your brews are the best, and you now make 3 of them that give you shield HP a day. Uh, so there's no reason you should ever realistically be sober. And you are a fun drunk. Who needs intellect or awareness? Not you. You have charisma for crafting and knowledge checks in addition to survival skills. Your favorite place to be is probably in the middle of a bar fight. Who knows? With enemies on all sides, and you've got the HP to stay there for a while. Once that HP runs out, just stagger away without triggering any reactive attacks, assuming you don't feel like you need to use your phase step right now. Your tolerance also has reached a point that it takes a pretty potent toxic attack to get past your resist 6, and you become immune to most common diseases and poisons. You've also lost some of your taste buds apparently because you started eating plants, and dirt, and rock. Come on. Um,
with that, we hit level 11 with a charisma increase to 5, and our HPs goes up to 74. After that one, where our feet for our talent. Sorry, I'm gonna keep fucking doing that. Another swig. You when you spend AP to move, you may take a drink, such as a potion or a tankard of ale, for 0 AP. So I'm gonna stagger away and take another sip while I do it, motherfucker.
right. That's just really strong. At level 12, we're finally going to get another strength increase here for 3. Our HP moves up to 82. And we're going to take the Drunken Fist talent. And what the Drunken Fist talent does is charisma times per rest, which for us is 5 times per rest.
Mm-hmm.
If you've imbibed in the past hour, you may subtract any number up to your charisma from your attack roll and add that same number to your damage roll. You must declare if you are using Drunken Fist and how much you are subtracting before you roll your attack.
I love this.
I mean, I'm not sure how much usage we're going to get out of this. We are so far behind on the bell curve. Taking another minus to our attack to do more damage, usage may vary, right? You might have a group that has a lot of flanking, a lot of people knocking him prone, a lot of troubadours giving you TA, and you can make it work. If you are soloing against creatures at this level, you have like a 35% chance to hit without taking this negative. Taking this negative makes that even harder for you to hit at this level. That being said,
gamble away.
That being said, that's why I said mileage may vary. This can be very strong. This could also be less effective as time goes on.
Yeah, this character is definitely there, not there to do all the damage. They're there to take the hits and keep themselves up and be the presence. And I mean, they can definitely throw some fucking hits. It's just they're not going to be super effective. And when you have a group, let's say if like they're playing in a party like ours, definitely something like this would be fun because we're constantly stacking like +8. So it's like, we'll be fine.
Like you guys, this is why I said we're building in a vacuum here. I have the bell curve, right? I know the bell curve. I'm going to compare it to the bell curve. Understand that it's just because I can make it effective. Like, objectively say what is above, below, or in the middle of the bell curve. Your party, much like the Tales of Yvard party, where it is not uncommon for everyone to have a +7, TA, for whatever fucking reason. Um, use this because at that point your percentage goes up to 70%. No, not 70. That's way too much.
It's fun because
Um,
it's up to your charisma too. So
60.
even if you want to just add a little bit more damage, just like, oh, they're getting bloodied. Now it's like, cool, I know they're getting close. Let me just be like, all right, I'm gonna add like 2 damage to each one of these attacks just to make sure I chip a little more, which is a very fun bit. Because if it was like every time take your minus your charisma from it's like, well, now I don't want to level up my charisma any higher. I'm scared. But the way they word it definitely makes it so it has some, like I said, the usage varies depending on how you want to use it.
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely your mileage may vary.
Mm-hmm.
If I was in a vacuum, I probably wouldn't use Drunken Fist all that much. Just because we're a little bit behind on the bell curve. But again, not everything is defined by the bell curve. And while I might talk about the bell curve a lot, um, yeah, that's another good thing. Sometimes some things have like DR, some things have um,
Hello, everybody coming in, by the way.
yes, hello. Um, Sorry, this wasn't even a spot where we were supposed to stop and talk. I just wanted to give a warning about Drunken Fist because yes,
That's
it's
definitely an ability that I would take and use all the time and then be like, why am I not hitting anything? I'm rolling with -4. What do you mean?
yeah. Like I said, your usage may vary. I it could be very good. It might be less effective. It's great in the right party comp. In the right party comp, you're going to take that -5 and not even feel it. Right. Um, in the wrong party comp, where you're the only one up front and you don't have a lot of people helping you out with TA and such like that, you're almost you might skip this level and just move down to
Yeah,
something else.
I think this is definitely one of the ones that is definitely a variable. It's like, hey, Drunken Fifth could be good, or like I would say if you were gonna not do this one because we have to hit Exile 6 for our next one. I personally really like Cowards myself. When Ferocious ability is active, gain a deal +1 damage on weapon attacks per frightened ally that you can see. Why is another variable one? I like this because Spaz tries to frighten us all the fucking time. So this one I see, I'm like, this one's really fun. So there's another one. I think that is a spot that kind of varies depending how you want to play it because there's brawling. I mean, sorry, it's Drunken Fist, Cowards, or Fighting Dirty would be like the options for this level if you were gonna pick one to get to Exile 6.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting Dirty, when you were flanking, you can apply a +1 TA to your maneuvers. So it definitely this is the one with like, hey, these are the options. We took Drunken Fist in a vacuum, but also there is a bit of it that we're like, we know the party that we usually try to play in. So I think that's
Right.
part of why we did that. But if you're in a different party, those are 2 other great options to like swing in there. I used the 7 hit. No, I wish if I could hit on 7s, I would be killing players left and right as an MC because that's all I can fucking roll is one personally. But before I go on that tyrant, I will move on to 13, which we take a crease in our endurance to 6. So we're hitting the 1d8 HP now. And that bumps us to 110 HP as we did do a reroll and we did roll well. And then we also are going to hit Trader rank 3 roughly around here, which I don't think we've really covered because that kind of is something that depends on the actual game you're in. So roughly if this was in like by the average, this would be when they would put something like that in. But for our actual talent we take, we get to Beast Companion 6, Beast Companion, which has a prerequisite of Exile 6. You gain a special bond with the creature. The creature can be ML 2 or lower and must have the beast tag and no other creature tags. They follow your instruction and act at the end of your turn. When your companion reaches 0 HP, it falls unconscious rather than dying and will return to full HP upon taking a rest. I love this one so much. I love little guys. I think it's definitely helpful, especially with giving yourself TAs and boost too, because like, hey, I got a guy now who's gonna help me get bonuses and stuff to even counteract the drunken fist even more. I always have a guy who I know can help me out with TA or just straight up give me something to do so. So I definitely think it's compares goes really well to it. Trying to think off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly which ones are considered for that, but I will pull up the creature list really, really quick.
I think we went with like a bobcat.
Did we go Bobcat?
Oh yeah, we went. I think we went bobcat.
Okay, yeah.
Which again, super strong. Bringing more things onto the table is strong. At this level, it's probably less strong than if we took it earlier. But we really wanted to get those skill points and get all of our skills tied to our charisma.
Yeah, there's definitely a character that while they do combat, they also care a lot about their skills and that part of their build. Like it is this is the character that is built for a campaign that we're gonna be hitting 1 to 30 in. And if you're doing that, you want to freaking be able to do more than just fight, because there's going to be a lot more than that in a long campaign. It's definitely a build that will do so and relish in the RP and the market stuff. This is the type of character you have in your campaign. You're like, all right, I got to know the trade routes for this city when they're going into it, because I know they're going to interact with them. Yeah, I think this is a real fun one.
Yeah. So at level 14, we bump our charisma once again to 6, giving us our HP is 114 at this point, and we're gonna take Hidden Dagger. And what Hidden Dagger does, and I was almost surprised when I first thought about adding Hidden Dagger to this, is we gain +1 sneak attack die and the sneak attack ability. If you do not already have it, your sneak attack die is 1d6. Sneak attack. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with a melee attack with a light weapon, if you had TA against the target and no tactical disadvantage, you can add your sneak attack dice. You may still use your sneak attack if Drunken Fighter is your only source of tactical disadvantage. When I tell you that in my head, I went, oh, really? And almost built some rogue into a exile Berzerker. Yeah, I almost built some rogue just to get that up, just to really push that damage up. Even if it was just a single dip to grab another sneak attack die, but I stuck to what we had decided when we decided
not
this.
Not trying to multi-class yet.
Not trying to multi-class yet.
Oh, it's right there and is begging for it. It's
at level 15, we increase our strength again. Finally, this time to 4. Again, we're on like the bottom. We're still on the curve of the bell curve. We're not like flatlining, but we're at like the second quarter as we go up the bell curve. We're not. Our big thing is not trying to hit; it's to get hit. But and we get hit pretty well. But I'm glad that we kind of stay in that area all the time through the build. The lineage ability that we took at 15 is Graveborn. And what Graveborn does for us is Groveborn, not Graveborn, Groveborn. We get +6 skill points to spend on any of the following skills. With this feature, we put up to 4 points in any individual skill. What we decided to do was some alchemy, some persuading, and some scavenging.
And then we, for our feature, our skill, talent, Jesus. bouncing between systems too much recently, playing in my other campaign. For our talent, we're going to take throw anything. Improvise weapons cost you 1 fewer AP to use, minimum 1, and deal 1d6 damage. This just is. I mean, it's fun. It gives you a little bit of range, but also it so fits the character as you're a bar fighter.
Yeah. So the party life is pretty rough, but honestly, you're rougher, right? Nobody can stop you from taking a swig, and nobody really wants to. Is that glass empty? You can throw it now. I mean, I guess you could, but now you've been practicing, sort of, maybe just doing it a lot. You have also switched tactics a bit, as you now have a lovely animal companion. Like I said, the one that I chose, that we chose, was we went Bobcat. I feel Bobcat really captures our like wild spirit, and just two small feral beasts charging into combat side by side. That's just having a wild time, right?
Yep, it's beautiful.
We've also gained sneak attack, and you can even ignore the tactical disadvantage of Drunken Fighter when you use it. It's very specific about how much tactical advantage you can ignore, making every other rogue extremely jealous. The way I personally would use that, it might be even to like weaponize your face step, pop into melee range all invisible, giving yourself plenty of TA, and rolling 2d20, taking the higher, because you're invisible. And use just a maxed Drunken Fist attack, which at this level, with the Brass Knuckles, Brawling, and Drunken Fighter going for you, as well as Hidden Dagger, it's going to be 1d20, rolling 2d20, and taking the higher, because of the TA from being invisible, the +4 to our strength, and the -6 to charisma for Drunken Fist. But the damage would be 2d6 plus 12 damage.
Bonk.
And that's a lot. That's 14 to 24 damage, right? Mm-hmm. We've also gained some more skills, and our HP is kind of getting up there. While our Bobcat doesn't have a lot of HP, its probably best use is for like hit and run tactics if possible. And maybe even knock things prone using Pounce, which will give us another form of TA. I talked earlier about we need some TA with Drunken Fist. There's a little bit of giving us some TA in here, right? A little bit. But it's still rough. That'll bring us to level 16.
Yeah, level 16, we take the increase to our endurance. We're at endurance 7 now, and we are HP at 126. The talent we are taking is Defiance, and you're drunk. You need the prerequisite of having Beast Companion, and your Drunken Fighter talent deals +2 damage.
Yeah, right? Like, damn. More damage? At level 17, we're going to up our charisma to 7 and give us, and our HP moves up to 132. Then we're going to take Companion Boon. And with Companion Boon, I got to find it again because I had seen it.
Your Beast Companion's max HP is increased by your charisma.
Yeah. That Bobcat at level 17 needs the HP bump.
Yeah.
At level 18, We're gonna go strength of 5. Again, climbing up that bell curve. And we actually see a small HP drop. I had some bad rolls on this one because we took Hardy 2. Much like Hardy did, it allowed us to re-roll our HP using a new formula. It was 10 plus at this level 18 d8 plus 46. Right? No, 42. What is 18 times 3?
I think you were right. I don't know math.
54.
Shit.
I was wrong all over the place. Obviously, I rolled badly that time.
Yep.
We had a slight dip in health.
Drop down a bit. After that, we hit 19, which we increase our endurance to 8 with a HP of 136, and we get the Drunken Ferocity ability, which is ferocious is no longer 2 times the rest. Instead of whatever you imbibed in the past hour, you are under the effects of ferocious.
Which, I mean, pretty much with this character, you have no reason not to be imbibing. Unless there's like a story reason not to be drinking. Because you're making your own alcohol. You're doing your own shit. Sorry, this is not what I'm supposed to be talking about, the character stuff.
Yeah. Come on. Spaz. At level 20, we hit Charisma 8 and we go to HP 143. We then, for our lineage ability, we go to Stone Gut 3. This can bring us up to Resist Toxic 9. And we take, for our talent, we go Scrapping. You gain 2 maneuvers of your choice from the Pugilist maneuver list. You may use these 2 times every recoup.
Yeah.
And we're going, sorry.
We decided to go suplex and uppercut.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love suplex so much.
I'm gonna bring them up so we can read them real quick. Pugilist. So what suplex does for us is we can spend 3 action points to make an unarmed or natural weapon attack against a grappled creature's fortitude. On a hit, we both move 5 feet and small prone. Roll unarmed or natural weapon damage, which for us, we're going to go unarmed weapon damage. You take that damage and your target takes double that damage and is dazed till the end of their next turn.
I love that ability so much.
And then with uppercut.
Yeah, I could not. I don't know what they are on the thing.
What was that?
I couldn't. Oh, I just found that
all the way down is between the additional charge. Yeah. Spend 3 action points to make an unarmed or natural weapon attack against a creature's fortitude. On a hit, deal damage as normal, and they move 5 feet directly away from you, and then fall prone. You going for that knockout? And like at this level, you and your companion both have small bump in HP, and you do a little bit more damage on your attacks. Also, your Berzerker ferocious ability is active, like I said, pretty much all the time, so long as you stay drunk. So, like, quitting is for quitters, right? Your Resist Toxic is now up to 9, and your booze selling business has never been better. Also, the real reason I picked Brass Knuckles, you can see why now, right? Maybe you've been watching a little bit too much pro wrestling, and it's paid off with a couple of these pugilist maneuvers. Feel free to give out a suplex or an uppercut of your choice to or your choice of other maneuvers, right? We chose these because we wanted a little bit of control.
I love these ones so much. Truthfully, they're probably two of my favorite ones. The other one, I think to switch out one of them, I would do the old one too, as I think another really fun one for this build.
I think trade blows would be another good one.
Oh yeah, there's so many good plugless maneuvers. Look at them, have fun, see what fits your version of this the best, because they are all really a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah. I also like jab.
Oh
But
yeah, I
maybe jab isn't quite as good as in my head it is, because we are a bit behind the bell curve with strength, which
mm,
we're attacking with. Um, so it's gonna be a little bit harder. Headlock could be a lot of fun. Headlock and suplex, amazing combo.
mm-hmm.
Um, but before we just get into, we decided these because we wanted the control aspects. Um, Anytime that we build a character, we're going to be assuming we're in a party of four with two different melee fighters, one ranged fighter, and at least one spellcaster. Um, so being able to suplex someone off of your spellcaster, right?
Oh shit.
Maybe using it to set up flanking with your Bobcat and your other ally, right? There's a lot of fun control things that can happen here.
Yeah, definitely.
And I
After
don't
20,
want
we
to
do hit.
underpay that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're moving on to 21.
Yeah, we take human shield, which is another specialization talent. Um, this is I want to actually read it exactly. Uh, you gain +2 to physical defenses while you have an enemy grappled.
Another reason to take some of the. I mean, we're definitely gonna be grappling more now. I feel, um, just with things like suplex and
Mm-hmm.
um, human shield. It's gonna happen. At level 22, we're actually upping our endurance once more, moving us up to a D10. Our HP is now 180 HP, and we decided to go Companion Boon 2. Whenever you and your companion are within 5 feet of each other, you both gain +1 TA on your attacks.
I love this one. It's another good one. Well, he's up. He's just gonna be adding more and more to your stuff.
Yeah.
After that, we hit 23, which is a charisma bump to 9, HP of 192, and we are going to be taking brutality, which is gain +1 TA when when attacking creature that is frightened or prone.
Which is
So
just. Oh, no. I was
yeah,
about to just go into the combos, but I'm trying not to do
I
that.
was I was gonna do this same thing myself, so I'm glad we will shut each other up.
Um, at our next level, we're level 24. We're increasing our strength to 7. Our HP is now 198. And we're going to take the drag talent. Your companion gains a special maneuver drag. For going all other actions, your companion can move up to half its speed and drag a prone target with it. This movement can, however, provoke reactive actions. So
That
things
is
like exploits.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is so much fun that I can think of for this, but we'll get into
Here,
it.
boy, grab him by his ankle and pull him over. Donk. That's so good. Um, After that, we do hit 25, which is endurance 10, HP of 208, and we're taking the talent of elemental adaptation for our skill talent. For our lineage talent. When making endurance checks to resist a harmful environmental conditions such as extreme heat, cold, or weather, roll 2d20 and take the higher. Then we also take refresh for our talent, which is if you are bleeding, burning, chilled, or dazed, you may roll 1d6 every time you imbibe. If you roll a 5 or 6, the condition is removed.
All right. So let's be honest here, right? You're now an accomplished booze merchant, right? And an even more accomplished booze connoisseur. If you're so accomplished that you can rid yourselves of some of the most detrimental conditions when you drink. Um, you also spend some time trying to be like those wrestlers, and you've gotten pretty good in a grapple, especially if you can get them off your feet. Um, so remember to sweep the leg maybe every now and then. Your Bobcat was also watching and has gotten really good at fighting by your side, and can even now drag enemies you've knocked to the ground off into the bushes for a light snack. And your HP really fucking high. Even the weather has to uh, roll twice to bother you. Another thing that we didn't I just thought about. I didn't think about it when we were writing this up. Um, Instead of just pulling them off into the bushes, you could also pull them to your other allies. Maybe uh, your other melee allies can't quite get there. You can also move an ally out of harm's reach. Which I think is an underplayed, probably an under. Um,
You can drag
thought
you out of
about.
harm's reach. After you
Yeah,
suplex someone, you can be like, all right, now drag me back. Ah.
right, right.
So that is how I see it. It's like run up, suplex him, he drags you back. So you're like, all right, I'm gonna lay here for a second, stand back up, and you're both back at it again. Like it works perfectly with him working at the end of your turn too. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so much fun.
It is really good. Um, Moving on to level 26, we're increasing our charisma yet again. Giving and our HP is going up to 215. And we're going to take Companion Boon 3. And what that does is your Beast Companion now adds half of your charisma to its attack rolls. Your Beast Companion now hits better than you do.
Hey, that's my boy. He's here because I'm too drunk to hit. What you mean?
uh, just saying, it's kind of funny that your Beast Companion has more of a chance to hit than you do.
Yeah, seriously. Out of that, we do hit 27, which our HP, well, our strength pops up to 8, and our HP does a bump to 255 as we take Hardy 3 this time, which once again allows us to reroll with a new formula, being 10 plus at this level 27 D10s plus 27 times 3, 4. Oh, I forget how Hardy 3 works, exactly what the math is.
Pretty sure it's 27 times 4.
I also believe that.
But I will double check before I just.
Yes, and you also suffer no negative effects from fatigue for the first day you are fatigued, allowing you to remove death points normally. This ability resets when your fatigue is removed. Additionally, each time you level up, gain an additional plus 1 HP.
Yes, it is 108
Wow.
at this level. Yeah. You got the HP, boys. You got the HP, and you actually have some decent defenses as well. I know we haven't really talked about it, but our willpower is like 20 at this point. Our I'm gonna sound like a goddamn pirate. Our fortitude is insane.
I forget
Again,
anybody
also
tried to hit you
20.
with toxic.
God forbid. It's gonna have to crit to hit you for the most part. That's gonna be 29 effectively.
At 28, we do take another minus in a stat to bring us to minus dex of 2 for an endurance 11 and charisma of 11 to bring us to an HP of 266. And we are going to take throw anything 2, which makes our throw anything become
We had
you gain
20
20
plus 20 feet in range with improvised thrown weapons, and the damage becomes 1d8. So just strong.
yeah. And then level 29, we hit endurance 12, bringing us to the cap and bringing us up to the HP of 324 with the rerolls as we have the D12s now. We will take for our lineage ability, we're going to go to the Brunei ability of Stone Sentinel, which is you are immune to magical sleep effects.
Yeah, the talent that we're going to take at this point is going to be Hidden Dagger 2, which is just an extra sneak attack die. Which I know I said just an extra sneak attack die. It is an extra d6 to add to damage. It's a significant bump.
Mm-hmm.
At level 30, we're going to increase our charisma, finally capping that at 12. We're going to have an HP of 335. And we're going to take Utterly Independent for our talent, which is the Exile Capstone. Your exile has led you to a life of fierce and complete independence from all others, except for your bobcat. Urban legends might follow you as you face down grave threats on your own. You gain the immune Charmed and immune Enthralled. You also get a couple. You also get the ability of Independence. Whenever a creature targets your willpower or attempts to charm or enthrall you, your next attack using Drunken Fist against that target does not consume the use of Drunken Fist. With this attack, you may target their willpower instead of their AR. And because we took this at level 30 and we are a level 30 character, Independence also activates with attacks targeting your anticipation and logic.
So good. I love this one.
So you only sleep when you want to now. And if anyone tries to get in your head, they're getting punched really, really hard. Your HP is about as high as it can get, realistically. And your Bobcat is a force to be reckoned with. Like I said, it hits more often than you do, probably. Your sneak attack has gotten a bit stronger, and your tankard throwing skills have gotten a lot deadlier. Party hard, fight harder, and honestly, like, just have fun with it, right?
Yep.
There are a lot of things that we didn't talk about, right? We didn't talk about skills because we want this to be a template for you to take and make your own character that feels your own way, right? The only skill that we really recommend at all is brewing, and that's because a lot of our skill, some of our skill talents gave us the brewing skill.
Exactly. Yeah.
This could be a lot of fun to play, in game, right? This could be. You have no idea how hard it was for me not to wave.
I know it's just instinct.
Damn it. This could be a lot of fun to play. Some of my final thoughts. When I talk about the bell curve, right? We are halfway. We're significantly down the bell curve. Okay. um, we're significantly down the bell curve. We're for the most part attacking with a +8, and that's only at level 27. Um, that's rough. If we use Drunken Fighter, it goes even further down. Or Drunken Fist, it goes even further down. That being said, not everything's about the bell curve, right? Um, because of the way defenses kind of scale in Mythcraft, we're sitting at about a 52% or a 53% chance to hit. And we're well below the damage normally applied. Now, if we decrease our ability to hit, we jump ahead of a lot of the average. So we'll play that bell curve for damage like a goddamn ping pong table. Okay.
Yeah.
It depends on how much we want to crank our charisma into our attack roll. That being said, in the right party, this guy will devastate.
Oh yeah. He would do absolute work with a just ace troubadour buffing him, there's a little bit of boost in a freaking augment person. Like there's so many great ways to support this character.
You know, some things that you can't support. You can't support a dead character. This guy's gonna be so hard to fucking kill.
Yeah.
Just the HP alone, at each level, he's stacked on HP.
And just because the potions we're drinking, we talk about is the brews who make. That doesn't mean that ability to run around and take potions while you do so. That's also just normal potions too. Like it is.
And it's your AP to drink.
Kill me.
And
then as I move, you're not going to reactive attack because of Drunken Stagger. So, I'm getting low. Let me just walk over here, glug, 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 walk back, or suplex as I'm getting dragged away. I'm drinking a potion and I get dragged away by my wolf after I suplex somebody. Like there's a lot of actions you can take that really make this character impossible to kill.
Right. And that's what I was saying. Like, he definitely fits that front line. I'm going to be a fucking problem if you don't deal with me. And it's going to be very hard to deal with me. Okay. Because if they don't deal with you, if they try to bypass you to go for for anyone else in your party, you're going to fucking suplex them. And then your Bobcat's going to drag him the fuck away. Keep him prone, keep him on the ground.
Yeah, Jesse did bring up a great point, and this is just a base build. At level 30, you're definitely going to have some magic items, and that changes a whole lot depending on how you want to build up with magic items for this build. I think if we start talking about magic items, it would be a whole lot longer because there's so many that could really change this character up.
And that's, eventually, again, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I also magic items like, hey, some DM or MC give items out more or less depending on the campaign. So we focus on the part that you control completely, which is your actual build.
Yeah. So we may go over magic items in general, and we may even just cover. We may even do a magic item tier list. Actually, I really like that idea for a video. Anyway.
We should do drunken magic item tier list. That'd be a really fun video. That'd be a really, really fun video.
Yeah. But drunk magic item tier list. That sounds like lesson learned after dark. Anyway.
I like what you're thinking.
This character's really hard to kill. You're gonna have plenty of AP to do what you want on your turn. For most of your character's life, you've had 5 AP plus a rage AP.
Mm-hmm.
That puts you at 6. It's right about the sweet spot. It's right about where I've learned that if you have more than that, you almost become over bloated, and you become less effective in other parts of your build.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I think there's builds that work for a base all core. Obviously, there's builds that work around super high coordination. But I think as like a general statement, around that 6-5 AP is usually a really good spot to stick around.
I'd say 5 to 8 is where you want to play. unless you're trying to use nunchucks, then crank that fucker all the way up.
I want to make a nunchuck character so bad. I think it'd be so funny.
I refuse to play nunchucks before level 24.
Let me next level 31 shot. I'm bringing Gambit with nunchucks. Be prepared.
But yeah. That being said, I think this particular build super flavorful. We've got all the fun. We've got all the fun things that we can want. We've got a lot of skills. You can really take this character and make them your own. And I think that's going to be a long running thing that we do throughout the character builds is unless an ability requires us to gain skill points, we're not going to tell you what skills to take because different campaigns you see different skill usage. Now, I say, perceiving might be the most useful talent in the game. That's my opinion. I'm an opinionated asshole. I'm allowed to have them. But with that being said, we're going to take questions about either the build or about building in general from people in chat. While we do that, do you want to do the...
Yes, I do actually. I have it right here. Baron of Dice is your one-stop shop for premium wargaming dice. Their dice are hand-poured with premium resin material and colored dyes. Each die is hand-mixed to the desired vault and then carefully swirled with 2, 3, or even 4 colors in a silicone mold before being lasered engraved with a wicked symbol, hand-inlaid and finished in a matte or gloss polish. There is no imperfections in their dice, no bouncing issues, or no micro bubbles, or mold lines. This is the difference between you can quite literally feel and hear a difference with their dice. Whatever game you play, whatever style your team, they're ready to elevate your game. Did I go fast? I'm sorry.
Wow, you speedballed that. I am just going to talk for a little bit more. I don't think we're going to do build videos every week. I think there's other things that we want to cover. I do think that...
Magic's also going to take a little bit more prep time to fully dive into Magic and have those be videos that are easily digestible. I feel like it definitely gives us some time to do that for sure. But yeah. I look forward to the Magic videos. But I definitely think trying to do a Magic video every week would be like there's a whole lot of us talking a whole lot.
Yeah, right. And not even all a bunch of fun stuff. So, going forward, eventually, we're going to go through, eventually we're going to get every track for every class into its individual build before we start looking at possible multi-class, multi-track builds.
Yeah, those are going to be
fun. Yeah, no, it is a lot of fun. With that being said, though, I'm not seeing any questions pop up in chat. I'm going to keep pandering for about another 30 seconds to hold off and see if anyone pops in with another wonderful question that we can answer for them at any point in time. Okay, well, the 2 seconds of silence that I did pulled it up into the 30 seconds. And you know what? Thank you for joining me, Kobe, on this conversation about the drunken brawler. General build question: brick or wood?
You know about that wood.
Oh, people that don't know. People that are just coming here for the first time are going to see you saying that. And it's like, wow, they attacked this guy hard. This is another person that is very commonly on Lesson Learned and is in our podcast, Tales of Yavard. Which does have a branded Berzerker multiclass in it.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that. He's in that track a bit.
Yeah. He went a
Kraken,
completely
right?
yeah, he went Kraken instead of going Lone Wolf like we did here. Um, but that being said, I'd like to thank all of you that have been here today, and um, check out our actual play podcast at Tales of Yavard. Links are everywhere. You can also watch on YouTube if you choose to. Check out our dice sponsor, Baron of Dice. Link is in the video description. And you know what, guys? I will see you all next week.
Yeah, have a great rest of your week, guys. I'll see you next time. Actually, I won't be here, so you guys have a next. I'll see you when I see you guys again. I'll miss you all dearly.